Hello, and welcome to the Live Past Crazy Show. Your host is Yanmitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with her? Yanmitra appreciates you taking the time out to listen to the podcast, and it is her sincere hope that what we share is something that you can use to help you and someone you know live past crazy.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yanmitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Good morning. Good morning. Let me share. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Welcome. Good morning. Y'all remember that song? Good morning, and how do you do? I'd like to introduce myself to you. Y'all remember? Good morning, Miss Starks. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. I woke up thinking about my grandpa this morning. Cause he said, "Gal, it's time to get up." And he would have coffee. He told me I wasn't old enough yet. And drink coffee together. I had water, he'd had coffee. Good morning. So if this is your first time joining the Fearless Morning Show, thank you for being here. For all my regulars who've been with me for 3 years, I appreciate y'all showing up every single morning. I know you could be doing something else. I greatly appreciate you for being here. Welcome. I think I did. My name is Yanmitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Y'all, we working on getting past some things. We not playing. We're just not playing. So every time I ask myself a question, I come back and I ask you a question because we on this journey together. And I don't want you to stay in a place that you don't have to stay. So if at any time I can give you some tips or ideas or a thought process that makes you think, remember Arsenio Hall? Things that make you go, for just a minute, then that's what I'm going to do. So yesterday we talked about the 3 things you must give up. You've got to give up trying to prove your worthiness and accept it. You got to give up defending your position and just hold it. And you've got to give up trying to explain yourself to people who can't even hear your explanation. They don't understand the words that's coming out your mouth. And they never will. And that's okay. So those are the 3 things that you absolutely have got to give up, along with the struggle, the blame, the battle, and the guilt. All of that goes hand in hand. Those are 3 things you must give up because they can trip you up on this journey. Those 3 things, trying to prove your worthiness, trying to tell people why you doing it and explaining yourself, that can get you tripped up. And guess what? They are way better at convincing you to not do something because they've been doing it their whole life. So they are going to beat you at that game. And so you don't understand your journey yet. So you can't quite articulate it and say it to yourself nor explain it to anyone else. So they're going to beat you at that game, boo. So don't play that game with them yet. Not until you're able to fully, confidently stand flat-footed with your chest out, head up, shoulders back, and say, this is this, and this is so. Don't fight with them because they're going to win. Because they are professionals at doing nothing. So give up trying to prove your worthiness. Give up trying to defend your position. Just hold it. Give up trying to explain yourself to people who don't understand, who can't hear your explanation. Give that up. And then what you will do, what you'll find is the more you focus on the inside, the more the outside will become easier to deal with at some point. In the beginning, it's difficult because you're trying to balance the two. All right, so today we're going to talk about 3 things that will go wrong on your journey. And they will. I'm not the one who will say, oh, you change. Yes, you change and things will begin to happen and you're going to see some things different. And it's going to be, remember we talked about that revolutionary change last week? It is going to be a revolutionary change and things will happen. There will also be some things that will go wrong. This journey is amazing. I promise it is amazing. It doesn't mean that it is easy or that it is pretty. It simply means that you are committed to that thing. You're committed to the change that you want to see in yourself, in your environment, in your household, in your community. That's what it means. So 3 things that will go wrong. You will be confused. Like I said, don't try to argue with somebody who's been, that friend that you've had since 12th grade or since 6th, 7th, 8th grade, who all their life they don't work the same job, lived in the same house, had the same friends, do the same thing. You're not going to be able to beat them when it comes to explaining your journey. You just not without being angry about it. So you need to be able to explain your journey and not be angry about it. So 1, you will be confused. And the minute you decide to share your journey with someone else, because we're excited and we want to show all the people the books you read and the mindset change that you had and the aha moment, like when you read the book. Like when I read this book, The Untethered Soul, I had so many aha moments, but I didn't have anyone on my journey at that time that I can call and say, girl, I found out that I inherited my fears of flying and I inherited my fear of water and I'm giving it back and there was no one I could have that conversation with. So number 1, you will be confused yourself. So trying to defend your position, trying to prove your worthiness, that's going to confuse you even more because you don't understand and the people around you are going to have such valid points about your life that you're going to be like, they must be true. Your mama is going to tell you so many valid points on why you can't go back to school when you're a single parent. She's going to tell you, you got a preemie, you got a newborn and a 7-year-old and your family live 400 miles away. What you mean you fixing to go back to school? Mom, I'm going. I don't know how I'm going to work it out, but I'm going. You cannot, you have to pick a battle. And if I can choose my battle is I'm keeping it all to JoJo till I can fully articulate it. Y'all know a while back we talked about what focus meant in growing and replanting yourself, and that part of that journey was to get down and wallow in the newness of you. That means to sit with who you are, for the new you that you just created. Sit in that. As the country people say, wallow in it for a minute. That means get used to the new words that you now say. Get used to the new things that you're thinking and new thoughts that you're having. Because on this journey, you change your words and you change your thoughts. And you're saying words that you're not comfortable saying yet because you've never said them before. You've always said words, I don't know, Lord Jesus, another day, what's going to happen next? You've always said things in a negative. Now you're changing things to the affirmative and the positive, and you're changing your mindset to that. And you've got to get used to carrying those words in your mouth. You got to get used to how they feel. Because right now, I tell you, you wear your words. You wear your words of what you can and cannot do. You wear those every day. And so now you're switching out clothes. You got to get used to the weight of those new words. And maybe they don't weigh you down like the other words did. Maybe they pep you up a little bit. You got to be able to know how to roll with that. So you need to wallow in it. Be with it for a minute before you start defending yourself. So you will be confused. That's a given. You will be confused because everyone around you will have a valid point of why you can't do something. Grant Cardone said your excuses will always be valid. If you're interested, your excuses will be valid and you will do nothing. But if you're committed, your excuses are still valid, but you're still going to do it anyway. That's why I don't want you to feel motivated, excited, pumped up. JoJo, I want you to be motivated, because when you're motivated on those days like today, My elbow is on 1,000 today. I heard it somehow in boxing class. And I would rather have done anything this morning than to move this elbow. But when you're committed, it does not matter whether my excuses are valid or not. Because I'm committed to this thing. My destiny's not changing. So 3 things that will go wrong in your journey is you will be confused. Don't argue with people who've been negative for 50 years and you trying to be positive. They're going to win every time. Keep it to yourself so you don't get confused. The confusion will come in when they tell you, Jojo, you can't do that. You be like, man, maybe I can't. And then you'll start pulling on your hair and twiddling, and then you're right back into the same process you're fighting to get out of. Number 2, you will be mad at yourself. You will be so mad at yourself that you will want to stay where you are. You will get so angry at yourself. You be like, man, this is the stupidest stuff I ever done before in my life. Look, ain't no need me even trying to get better, dog. I might as well work with what I got. You will get mad at yourself. So if you're confused and you get mad at yourself, you find yourself staying where you are. You find yourself in the same cycle, doing the same thing. Man, I can't believe I dated the same man again. But you ain't willing to do the work, so you stay there. Man, I took the same stupid job. My friends are still the same. Ain't nothing changing. You'll get mad at yourself. I got so mad. You'll get mad and embarrassed. I was embarrassed of the things that I did in my life. Embarrassed that I chose the same man again. Embarrassed that I married a man who beat me. Embarrassed that I allowed somebody to do. Like, I had embarrassment and I was mad and I was confused. You see how this journey can go wrong real fast? Because the minute you're trying to figure this out for yourself and you're not good at articulating those words, and you tell your friend who has been doing the same thing, or your mama or your daddy and them, or whoever, they've been doing the same thing for years, you see how their points can be so valid when you're already confused and you're mad at yourself and you're embarrassed. They make perfect points. And you wanting to change makes no sense to them, and it darn sure don't make sense to you, but you feel it nagging on you, and you can't quite understand why you need to keep going with it, but you know you need to, but ain't nobody around to talk to because they're convincing you to stay the same. Been there and done that. That's the purpose of the Fearless Morning Show. Come on over here and hang out with us, because we're having that kind of conversation. That's why you need new friends. You old enough, you know how to make new friends. Hey, how you doing? Make new friends. Have new conversations. Wear new words. The third thing is you will not understand the fullness of your journey. Because you don't understand the fullness of your journey, it can go wrong very quickly. You may think that your purpose or your journey was to do this, and the more you work on it, you see that it is changing every day. Or it is not going in the direction that you thought it would. So then you get mad at yourself. Now you're confused. Now you listen to your friends again. Now you back in the same circle, and you're back at number 1. But I want to change, but it's not sticking. I don't understand. It's because your dreams and your values are not aligned, and that makes it difficult. Yeah, we went right into the thought of the day. We didn't give the quote of the day. The Fearless quote of the day: we cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. And that's by Max Dupree. We've had that quote before, but I think it fits our topic today. We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. And that's by Max Dupree. So the 3 things that will go wrong on this journey that I can absolutely guarantee you. You will be confused. You will be mad and embarrassed at yourself. And you will not understand the fullness of your journey. And because you don't understand the fullness of your journey, let's go back to the 3 things you had to give up on yesterday. You got to give up trying to defend that position. You've got to give up trying to explain yourself to people who can't understand your explanation. They can't hear it because they don't know those words. There are people who only know words like, I don't know, I don't have, I can't do it, I should have did it, I could have did it, I would have did it, nobody asked me, I don't have any money, look at where I live, I hate this, my health is bad, my patience is bad, everything is in the negative. So you trying to understand the fullness of your journey and then talk it out with someone whose words are always in the negative, they have nothing to give you. They've been in the negative, like their bank account. They've been in the negative. They ain't been in the positive. They don't know what that's like. So you telling them new words doesn't work for them. Even when your most sincere heart, it doesn't work for them. It just doesn't. You will be confused. You will be mad at yourself. And you will not understand the fullness of your journey. And that's okay. But it needs to be an inside practice. If there's going to be a revolution, we talked about that last week, there's going to be a revolution on the inside. You got to stop proving, you have to stop trying to prove your worthiness and accept it. Stop trying to defend your position and hold it. And stop trying to explain yourself to those who can't hear your explanation. They don't know the words that's coming out of your mouth. They don't. They don't know why you don't want to say, Lord, what's next? They don't understand that. They will want to tell you, girl, well, you know, last time you tried to do that, this and this happened. They will want to remind you of every negative that you've ever had concerning a new thought, idea, person, place, or thing. That's what they want to remind you of. And because you don't understand the fullness of your journey yet, you may not be able to articulate that. You will lose this battle. You will lose this fight when you take it to someone who has been in the negative their whole life and you're the one trying to change for the positive. They will overtake you with their negativity. You will become confused. You'll get mad at yourself and embarrassed that you even try to change. You won't, because you don't understand the fullness of your journey. And they have such valid points about why you can't do things. Your sister has valid points on why you can't leave that man. Your auntie has valid points on why you can't start that business. You ain't got no money. You know you wasn't smart as a child. You wasn't the smartest pencil in the bunch. You wasn't the sharpest pencil in the bunch. Your daddy said, well, you look at where you're living now. You want to change everything else, but look at where you live. Look at where you're working. You will not win that battle. They are proficient at being negative. There are some people who are proficient. I like that. There are some people who are proficient at that. That's what they do. They are proficient at being negative. They are proficient at having less than. And they are proficient at convincing you that you can't do something. They so good at that you don't even know they're doing it. They don't even know they're doing it. All they know is they don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. And so they're going to remind you of the words that you used to say. And then if you're not strong enough yet, you will accept those words as true. So on this wonderful day, and it's going to be an amazing day. Quote of the day, we cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. And y'all, I really mean it. When I say it's going to be a wonderful and amazing day, I mean that with my whole heart. It's going to be a wonderful and amazing day. 3 things that will go wrong on this journey when you start to change. You will be confused. You will be mad at yourself. You will be embarrassed. You cannot let that stop you. Some of us will stop at number 2. We'll be mad and embarrassed at ourselves that we even did the things that we did, or that we even trying to live differently. And because we're so angry and mad about that, we won't do anything else. And you will not understand the fullness of your journey. You're not meant to. You're just starting. So yes, it's going to change. Yes, it's going to look different than what you normally see. You got to know there are some people who are proficient at being negative. So when you become confused about, is JoJo said, I could think new thoughts and have different words. When you get to that point and you want to share it with other people and they don't know those words, you will become confused. If they don't know, just for the day, if they don't know why you're saying just for the day, if they don't understand why you say my mind just took a snapshot of what I thought and it's giving me all the negative that I'm thinking right now, they're going to think you're crazy. They're not going to understand. And the people who are proficient at being negative are going to convince you that what you're thinking is no good. And you will become confused. Because they have a hell of a convincing game. They can present, remember we all attorneys at law, they can present their case. Your Honor, I presented JoJo today. The reason why, as her friend, I'm telling her, have you heard that? As your friend, I'm telling you because I love you. I'm telling you this because you need to hear this. You don't need to start that business, girl. You ain't got no money. Ideas are free every day of the week. You don't need to do this, girl. And I'm telling you this because I love you. You can't move. I'm telling you this because I love you. You can't get a better job, because if you get a better job, look, you're going to have that wait period for your insurance to kick in. You got different hours. Who going to watch the kids? You know I'm already tired with my kids, so I would help you, girl, but I can't take on no more kids. And you know your mama, she ain't going to watch them. And you know your family, they ain't about nothing, so they ain't going to watch them. So, girl, I don't know if I would take that job if I was you, because so much, look at what's going to change and what you're going to have to do. Girl, I don't know. I wouldn't go back to school if I was you. Who gonna watch them kids? Who gonna help you with your homework? How you gonna get back and forth? How you gonna pay for them books? You already in debt. Now you wanna go back to school and student loans? The people who are negative in your life, they are proficient at it, and you will not win against them. That's when you change. The change has to be on the inside first, and then the outside will show. Inside, outside. Inside first. There's got to be a revolution on the inside first. And then stop trying to prove your worthiness. Just accept it. Stop trying to defend your position and hold it. I'm changing. I'm going back to school. I've had those these are conversations I've had. I'm not making this up. These are the conversations I've had. Confessions and conversations with JoJo. I'm going to school. Oh, I'm getting that PhD. But JoJo, I'm going back to school. I will have a PhD. I will be a millionaire. I am doing these things. There are some people who are proficient at being negative and convincing you why you cannot do something. They are amazingly good at that. And if you do not understand it for yourself, you'll be confused, you'll be mad at yourself, and you'll be embarrassed at the same time that you even try to change, because they can give you such a convincing story of why you need to stay where you are. And you will not understand the fullness of your journey. That's okay, because you're just starting out. You're not going to understand everything that you're about to learn, think, and or do, because you're changing everything that you have learned, thought, and did. So on this lovely day, I want you to have an amazing day. We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. And the 3 things that will go wrong, and they will, is that you will be confused, you will be mad at yourself, and you will not understand the fullness of your journey. And that's okay. You got to keep going anyway. You cannot stop. And please be mindful and aware of the negative people who are proficient. They are amazingly great at their job. Be aware of them. And be aware of what you share with them and how they react to what you share. I had to learn that the hard way. When I have a positive that I want to share, and I share it with people who are not ready to hear the words, who can't understand what I'm saying, then their response is different. Because when I tell it to them, they were like, oh, girl, that's nice. Let me tell you what happened at work yesterday. Oh, that's Joe, girl. Let me tell you what my mama did. They will not care for your conversation. It's not because they don't love you any less. It's not because they don't believe in you, because they've never believed in themselves. I like that. And because they have never believed in themselves, they cannot possibly comprehend what it is that you want to do. They can't. And because they can't understand that, they're going to convince you that what you're doing is wrong. And they're proficient at that. So you have got to decide that even though these things will go wrong, that you're going to be committed to the change anyway. That the revolution has already taken place, and these are the things that you're going to do. Period. So on this lovely day, please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. If friends and family do not have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. If they don't like Facebook and they don't like YouTube, we do have a podcast. They can listen to the podcast all day long. We have all the shows in the podcast. I keep forgetting to give you the link to the podcast. Let me do that. The podcast is the Fearless Morning Show. Simply load it into there. We are revamping the podcast. So just be patient with us as we do that. Let me give y'all the link. Here's the link for the YouTube channel. Because I tell y'all these things, but then I forget to share them with you. This is the link for the podcast. And please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. Here's the link for Instagram. Don't forget the Sister Rise Retreat is coming up October the 16th through the 18th. Please make sure you register and join us. It's going to be an amazing time. If you click on that link, you'll find more information there about what the Sister Rise Retreat is, and answer all of your lovely questions. If you still have some, if you don't want to read that, send me a message and I got you, and I can answer your questions absolutely for you. So on this wonderful, wonderful day, I want you to be amazing. I want you to be peaceful, period. Because there's nothing after that. If anybody know how to get rid of this hurt elbow, I didn't cut it, but it hurts to stretch it out. Oh my Lord. Today, the fearless thought of the day. 3 things that will go wrong on your journey. You will be confused. You will be mad at yourself. You will be embarrassed. And you will not understand the fullness of your journey. That's when you've got to be committed to it. Don't start sharing it with people who are proficient at being negative, who can prove a case like nobody else can, who can convince you that what you're thinking about wanting to do is insane. Don't do that. They don't believe in you because they never believed in themselves. That's not your problem. It's not your fault, and that's not your focus. Your focus is having a revolution on the inside of you. So in order that to take place, you must give up 3 things. We talked about this yesterday. If you missed it yesterday, go back and watch the show. Stop trying to prove your worthiness and accept it. Stop trying to defend your position and hold it. Stop trying to explain those who cannot hear your explanation. So on this wonderful day, I want you to have an amazing day. Please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. And if you share, please tag me, let me know so I can tell you thank you. Because I really, really appreciate you doing that. And I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.
Thank you again for listening to the Live Past Crazy Show with Yonmitra Jojo. She is the only Live Past Crazy specialist, and she is glad you spent your time with her. If you would like to know more about why she knows crazy and about her journey, she invites you to check out her website, www.livepastcrazy.com, as well as follow her on social media. Jan Mitra is her tag for IG, Twitter, and Facebook. JANMETRA. She also invites you to join her on the Fearless Morning Show, weekdays at 7:15 a.m. on Facebook Live. Again, you can find us on Facebook with the Fearless Morning Show page or by name. Remember, as a result of working with the only Live Past Crazy specialists, individuals are able to identify the crazy in their lives and develop a specific blueprint to begin to live past crazy. Do you know anybody who needs to live past crazy? Then send them over her way, because there is life after crazy. Be peaceful, period. And Jan Mitra will see you guys on the next show.